Sam. If this is your first time here, welcome. I've been making Blender content for a while, but that's kind of fizzled out because I've lost interest in it a little bit. But the most important thing, which is why I'm making this video, is because I'm going to diversify the type of stuff that I make a little bit more. I got really burnt out, and I want to try and recover from burnout while also trying to finish some of the things that I've started. I've got so much on hold, basically, and works in progress that I just haven't done, and burnout has definitely exacerbated that issue a lot. So I got diagnosed with ADHD recently, and I got Adderall, and that has been really helping with my focus and attention span and my ability to do things and just start things as well. So I want to commit to doing more stuff, but I'm also trying to balance the burnout and not get more burnt out on doing other stuff. So I figured I would show you the way that I set up my digital paintings, because I've been wanting to do a digital painting of Louis de Pointe from AMC's Interview with the Vampire for like 6 months, probably, maybe less, I don't know, but I'm gonna do that today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how long it takes me to finish it. And I'll talk about, what I'm gonna do in the next few months to a year of videos that I have kind of planned while I'm doing that. So join me if you'd like. Hopefully you'll stick around. Bye. Alright, so this is my setup. I have a Huon tablet, which I don't remember the dimensions of, but I will put on screen now. When I do my drawings, I like to have Clip Studio on my right monitor with it also on my tablet, so that I can actually see what I'm doing at two different angles. And then on my left monitor, I usually have whatever I'm drawing. So I have this picture of Louis, which I still need to make grayscale. The way I've been doing it is just desaturating the picture, tracing the outline of it so I know where to put things, which in this instance, in many instances with drawing, I would say tracing is not that big of a deal, especially for something like this where it just saves time, honestly. The old masters did it, they used, camera obscura, pinhole cameras, something like that, to draw their stuff. So anyway, so I'm going to start the process and start drawing, and I will talk to you in a second. Okay, so I can only record my one screen, so I will show you how I normally do photo editing on this screen, and then I will move this over to the other one. Alright, so I have this, which I am going to copy, and I can paste it into there. I'm going to move it over to my other screen for now. Well, for the whole time that I'm drawing. I think I'm going to do A4. Why not? I am recording a time lapse of this, so that will be up as well. Okay, so I'm going to change it to that so that I can get him fully in the picture and there's nothing cut off. I might change it back. We will see. Okay, so I'm going to copy this picture and paste it here, and then I'm going to drag it in. What I like about Clip Studio is that it creates a new layer for any image that you bring in, which is super nice and means I don't have to do that step. So I'm gonna make this kind of big so that his face fills the entire, you know, canvas. So what I do now is I've been using this drawing glove because it prevents the screen from getting greasy, which is nice. Alright, so the next thing I do is I make this layer very, very faint. Or not very faint, but and then I draw over it in a really, really light color. And I just mostly draw like the planes of his face so that I know where I'm going with things. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna talk to you about what I'm doing with my life. So I had begun this channel as a place to put my Blender videos, and I had done that for a while, but it never, I immediately, you know, kind of got bored, slash I just ran out of things to do. So I just like stopped posting basically. And now I have been on leave from work for a while because of burnout, and I've pretty much decided that I'm not going back. So I need to figure out something to do in the meantime. So that's kind of what I want to use this channel for, is actually recovering from burnout and starting the things, or finishing the things that I've started, actually. Because I like I said in the, here I'm just like seeing if I can see his lips a little bit better. I moved my reference over there to be more zoomed in. So I want to recover from burnout. These last few months have been really nice to do so, but I feel like I'm still pretty burnt out, honestly. And I need to put effort into recovering from that. And I had this whole content schedule planned, but honestly, like looking at it, I felt kind of stressed out about it because it was kind of intense, and I want to do all those things, but it just, I don't think I was being realistic with myself of what I could actually do in a month. Like, one of the things was I wanted to code an app in a month, and I still do kind of want to do that, but it'll be, I don't know, I don't think I can code a full app in a month. So what am I actually going to do? I made a bingo board at the beginning of the year, and I will say it wasn't the best because a lot of the things are not actually like accomplishable. Like, they're very loose goals, and so there's no real way to accomplish them. Like, one of them is learning oil painting, which is like a lifelong skill a lifelong thing you kind of have to try to learn. So a lot of them are not smart goals, but some of them are. I want to learn one song on the piano before the end of the year, because I figured that's an easy thing to do, and problem is I haven't put any real effort into doing that, or much of any of the things that I've written down, and I want to. Like, I think I can. I think I can definitely put effort into them and still focus on recovering from burnout. So, I've also seen videos recently where people change their life in 6 months. I really like that idea, and I want to kind of take that and make it into my own sort of thing. I am obviously not going to do it to the extent that they do it, because I don't want to burn myself out more. So I've seen a lot of videos recently, and that seems cool and all, but it seems like a lot to try and do. And I mean, even, I'll put her channel in the description, but there's a girl that I was watching, Kiara Ivola, who did the Change Your Life in 6 months, and even she said it was kind of a lot to try and do all that she did, you know? So my goal is to change it up a little bit, make it into something that is easy for me to do, which means I can actually finish some of the things that I have started. So basically, I'm going to be changing this channel kind of a lot. I want to post maybe once a month, and you know, when I get started, I want to post maybe once a month and try to, you know, figure out a good cadence and just work on it, you know, as I can. I want to pick very small projects that I can do within the course of the month that don't stress me out. With a very big goal of just recovering from burnout and starting finishing. It would be great if by the end of the year I can mark off everything on my bingo board, but I don't think that is going to be, you know, I don't think I'm going to have the ability to do that, just because of the kind of stuff that's on there. But I have, like, some pretty good goals on there that I do believe I can finish. I want to learn oil painting, I want to learn watercolor, I want to finish a comic that I've started a long time ago, and I still haven't. And I might do that as well, but it will probably be a longer project just because of how long comics take to make. It takes a significant amount of time, and when I was making this, like, content schedule, I wasn't thinking about that, because I was like, oh, I'll have, you know, everything finished by the end of the month, and I won't have to worry about anything else. But I do, because I will have to keep doing a comic if I start it. So, comic maybe later in the year. I do want to code an app. It will probably be later in the year because I'm still learning, and I think that's fine. And maybe it'll be like a longer project as well. Basically, what you can expect from me for a while is more stuff. I really am gonna try and take you along for the ride to recovering from burnout, and hopefully I can share some tips. We'll see. I'll at least share what's worked for me, and you can see a bunch of cool projects that I'm working on if you come along. If you want to subscribe. If you liked the video, please like it. And I think that's everything. So I will continue drawing, and I'll show you the end result at the end. Bye. you.